Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for today's video lecture, we're going to show the solution for the unit conversions in your module. So the problems are pasted on this side. Sana visible pa rin siya. So we have three problems here. Use scientific notation and express 3,476 kilometers, the radius of the moon in meters. Next, we have 8 micrometers. It is the diameter of a capillary carrying blood in the body in nanometers. And finally, we have 0.8 seconds. This is the typical time between human heartbeats in milliseconds. So the steps that we are going to follow are also provided here on this side, as well as the table for the prefixes. So let's start. We have 3,476 kilometers. We are asked to convert it to meters. So let's write down 3,476 here, of course, in kilometers, times a fraction that is equal to 1 involving the new unit meters and our old unit kilometers. So dito sa taas, we have the meters, and for the denominator, we have kilometer. Now, how many meters are there in a kilometer? So, according to our table here, so itong may hyphen dito, this is the place for your unit of measurement. In our case, for the length, meter yung ginagamit natin. Converted into kilometer, we have to use the multiplying factor 10 raised to 3. So, we have 10 raised to 3 or 1,000. 10 raised to 3 meters or 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. That is a factor of 1. So for step 2, multiply it out, leaving all units in the answer. So let's multiply them out. We have 3,476 times 10 raised to 3. What are the units? So first we have the kilometer, and the other one is the meter. And for the denominator, we have 1 kilometer. Cancel all units that are both in the numerator and denominator. So, para silang may kilometer, cancel natin sila. And also, if your denominator is 1, since division by 1 is equal to itself, so tanggalin na rin natin si 1. We will be left with 3,476 times 10 raised to 3 meters. Hindi pa tayo tapos. Why? Because we are asked to express our answer in scientific notation. And this is not in scientific notation yet, or in standard scientific notation yet. The decimal point is located after the last digit 6. And we have to move it between 3 and 4 for us to have a coefficient that is greater than 1 but less than 10. So let's move our decimal point. 1, 2, 3. 3 units to the left. And according to our rule, yung mga na-discuss natin before, if we move our decimal point n units to the left, then we have to add the number of movements to the power. So, since to the left siya, plus 3 tayo. Now, let's write it in standard scientific notation. We have 3.476 times 10 raised to 6 meters. And this is going to be our final answer. Okay, I hope that was clear. This time, let's move forward to the next problem. We have, ito ko na lang siya ilalagay since may space pa naman tayo. 8 Micrometer, this is the diameter of a capillary carrying blood in the body. Express it in nanometer. So, 8 palakihin ko siyang konti. Micrometer to nanometer. If you are asked to convert a certain number with prefix to another unit na may prefix din, I suggest that you convert it muna dito sa may hyphen. So, ano man yung ginagamit natin na unit of measurement. Since we are talking about length here, so the standard unit that we have is m. So, convert muna natin siya sa m before natin siya i-convert to nm. Okay? Mas simple kasi yun at saka mas madali siya intindihin. So, first, let's have nm. May 0 pa pala siya dito, hindi ko na sinulat. Since 0 lang naman siya, hindi ko na isusulat ha. 2 meters muna. So, lagay ko dito yung asterisk. Ito muna yung unang step natin. Convert muna natin siya to meters. We have 8 micrometers times. So, the new unit is m. The old unit is micrometer. Now, for every 1 micrometer, how many meters are there? Let's look it up on our table. This is micrometer. So, we have 10 raised to the power of negative 6. So, sulat natin dito ay 10 raised to the power of negative 6. After that, sabi ko nga, skippable naman si 2. Pwedeng dito, mag-cancel na tayo kaagad. Yan. So, we will be left with 8 times 10 raised to the negative 6 meters. And from this value, let's convert it to nanometer. So, this is 8 times 10 raised to the negative 6 meters to nanometers. Sulat natin si 8 times 10 raised to the negative 6 meters. Tapos, i-multiply natin siya by new unit is in the numerator. Old unit is in the denominator. Yan. Now, how many nanometers or how many meters are there in 1 nanometer? So, sa isang nanometer, meron tayong ilang meters? 10 raised to negative 9. Now, let's perform multiplication. At mag-cancel out din pala tayo ng mga same na units. So, tanggalin na natin sila. Parehas may meter, tanggalin na natin. We will be left with 8 times 10 raised to the negative 6 nanometer over 10 raised to negative 9. Using our knowledge in laws of exponents, di ba alam natin that if you have x raised to m over x raised to n, that is equal to x raised to m minus n. This is going to be 8 times 10 raised to negative 6. Take note, dito tayo magpe-perform ng subtraction. Minus negative 9 ayaw niya sumulat. Negative 9 nanometers. Solving for the value, we have 8 times 10 raised to negative 6 plus 9. Kasi minus minus, we're going to change our operation to addition, which will give us 8 times 10 raised to the power of 3 nanometers. Okay? So that's it for number 2. Now let's move forward to number 3. Let me just clear up this board and then we will move to number 3. Okay, so for number 3, we have 0.8 seconds to milliseconds. Let's solve 0.8 seconds times numerator, new unit, denominator, old unit. So for every 1 second, how many milliseconds are there? Or for every millisecond, how many seconds are there? So looking up at on our table, if we have 1 millisecond, there is 10 raised to negative 3 seconds. So let's solve. This is second. So tanggal na siya. We will be left with 0.8 milliseconds. So tanggal na rin si 1. For the denominator, we have 10 raised to the power of negative 3. Now, what do we know? If we are going to have x raised to negative m, equal siya sa x raised to m, pero reciprocal na. So, dito naman, if you have 1 over x raised to negative m, so magiging 1 times x raised to m na siya, or simply x raised to m. So for here, if we're going to convert this is 0.8 times 10 raised to 3 milliseconds. But since this is not in standard scientific notation, because 0.8 is outside 1 to 10, mag-a-adjust pa tayo. Our decimal point is between 0 and 8, and it should be after the last digit, 8. So we have to move our decimal point 1 unit to the right. And if we have 1 movement to the right, then we have to subtract 1 from our power. We're going to have 8 times 10 raised to 2 milliseconds. Okay? So the final answer is 8 times 10 raised to 2 milliseconds. I hope that was clear. You can always look up this table. Provided naman yun sa module nyo. And you can also follow the steps. You can skip 2 if you want. As long as you will end up with the same answer, okay lang yon. So for your recitation, ito lang yan. Use scientific notation and express 2.36 micrometer to picometers. And for your quiz, yan, may problem tayo. Diamond is a crystalline form of carbon in which the distance between adjacent carbon atoms is 0.154 nanometers. What is this interatomic distance expressed in picometers? And also, express your answer in scientific notation. So that will be it for today. Thank you very much for listening and see you next time. Bye!